Tonight, a man has been killed in a workplace accident.
Tonight, a family is left without answers.
A man has been crushed to death.
A young Sydney father has died in a horrific workplace accident.
A man has died after a workplace incident.
A gigantic scaffold at a construction site collapsed at Macquarie Park near Ryde this afternoon, crashing down on workers below.
The parents of 18-year-old Christopher Casaniti attended the scene after learning of their son's death.
So this is Chris Toolbox Steady. He's my little mascot. He comes with me everywhere I go. It actually carries Christopher's ashes, and he's wearing Christopher's t-shirt, which was cut down to size.
As you'd expect, they are devastated to lose their 18-year-old son, new to this industry, early in his working life, and to lose his life doing a job, it's atrocious. I was there, one of the first on the scene that day. I was only a couple of minutes away when it happened, and seeing Patricia turn up to the site, knowing that something had happened to her boy, and then Rob turn up after her, it was devastating. You know, in them first minutes, this is something that is never going to leave these families. To lose a family member, whether it's a son or daughter, a wife or a husband, a parent, it's never going to leave them. This is the start of a long journey that will devastate this family. So yeah, it's hard.
When it first happened, you know, you think about the penalties being manslaughter, just like anything else. Like when you get killed by, you know, a car, or someone kills someone, you get in, you know, manslaughter, and there's sort of, the penalties are there in place. But when you get told that there is no penalties when an Australian goes to work and dies, it's something that you can't accept. I will never accept what happened to Christopher.
It's not something that happens rarely. It happens very often, and we lose workers in our industry every couple of weeks. I mean, I personally, I think in the last 8 years, have been directly the first person on 16, 17 sites to a death.
Sydney Scaffolding Company has been ordered to pay a record $2 million after a judge found poor safety standards led to the death of a teenager 3 years ago.
So Janellen was $900,000 and Category 2. And Synergy got charged with a Category 1 offence and the $2 million. The maximum was $3 million. They got $1 million discount. I don't get that. You know, we don't get a discount. As a family member, it's a life sentence. And that no one is culpable for my son's death is the biggest kick in the gut. I was taken into a room with the prosecutor, and the prosecutor looked at me and said, "Patricia, there is only so much we can do based on our laws." One thing that the barrister said to me goes, "Patricia, the best thing we can do is to change that law."
The court heard they knew the risk of death on site, but continued regardless. And tonight there are calls for industrial manslaughter to be legislated in New South Wales.
Unfortunately, in New South Wales, not having an industrial manslaughter, we even have builders out there, construction companies that insure against a death, that don't even pay a fine. It's paid by an insurance company. It is a cost of doing business, and that's the way they've treated it in the past. That's why we need a deterrent.
Getting industrial manslaughter laws in place in New South Wales is paramount for not just the union movement, but for every worker, every community, and everyone who supports a worker.
When it comes to human life and the health and well-being of an Australian worker, it should be overarching. No one should differentiate if you're a Labor, Liberal, Greens, whoever you are. It's a human life, and no Australian should ever go to work and die.
We need your help to get these laws passed. Join the campaign for industrial manslaughter laws via the link in the comments.
Without these laws, we are not saying every worker is important. Without these laws, we are not saying safety is paramount in every workplace, no matter where you are. Let's make these laws a reality in New South Wales.